Good morning and welcome back to Cooking with Kale. I'm your host, Kale, and today we're for my hour of seconds. I'm working on the Script2 C++ hybrid embedded C++ API, which has been slipping into my primary thread. That's okay. It's okay if you utilize your hour of seconds to just go full primary thread on your thing. Just don't feel bad. Whatever work you can get done, you need to not look a gift horse in the mouth, right? So you can find this project at github.com/kabuki starship /script2. I'm going to set a timer for an hour and do an hour work on my secondary project, which I need to switch over to something else because this thing has been going totally primary thread and I got so much stuff I need to do. That's the benefit of the hour of seconds is you're guaranteed productivity anywhere you go. So long as you actually show up and do the work. So where are we at? So the stack clearly is working because we're running the string thing. And ASCII, I don't know why before the ASCII string I had some pointers into an ASCII array that I was using with a string printer, and I don't know why I thought I needed that. I looked at the code; it totally didn't need to do that with the operator overloader thing. A bobber, yeah, whatever they call those things, right? The operator overloads. All right, so what happened yesterday? Got some print code that was not working yesterday, but is working today because I was doing a number of things wrong, storing the thing wrong, not printing out the correct debug information. That took a while to figure out. Maybe I need this to be smaller. I don't like it when it's smaller. Oh, all right. So I printed expecting test 1, 2, 3. Printed testing, and then the problem is that an ASCII stack has two values. It has the total array elements. It has the count of on the stack. Sorry, the stack count. And then I create an ASCII string with a stack of characters. And so this means that the count can't be less than 1 because you have to have a null termination character in there. So there's a little bit of extra logic, but this is definitely the correct way to go about doing it. Whatever I was doing before was not correct. And where is the problem here? I'm not growing. As a man or as a programmer? Probably both. Yeah. Whenever I get my shit together, whenever I get all this stuff together, maybe I'll grow as a man. But I need a bigger wood shop. uh, what do I do? Yeah, my shop has all my tools are like hard to get to them. Not all my tools. I wish I had a shop. I like working with wood. It's such a pain in the butt though when you don't have proper space. So I print the string. So the begin is the beginning, the end is the end, and then the start and the stop are for um, buffer. It's buffer talk. So this might be a little bit confusing. It's not confusing if you know what a ring buffer is. Where is the start and where is the stop? I'm writing to a buffer here. There's a start of a buffer and a stop of a buffer. And that's going to be inside the begin and the end because it has to be. Because the begin is the beginning. There's nothing before the beginning. There's nothing after the end, right? So the start and the stop goes between the begin and the end. And then we're at 390. And then it's saying that the count is less than or equal to the total. Let's look at the autos. I'm going to have to move this over here because the scaling doesn't work right sometimes. Well, every time you start it up. All right. We're looking for this. We go look at the autos. And then we have the total is what, 16, and then the count is 12, right? If count less than, sorry, count less than or equal to total. And then total is, oh, I'm dealing with it not being the right object, right? So it's got the count is being updated to the wrong object. So I have to look at every place where I set count equal to something. Is this in? Well, I mean, I wouldn't need to. What is the problem? I just grew the string, and so I now have a thing of dynamic memory, and I'm apparently looking at the wrong one because I had set the count in the wrong one. How do you know that? Because it's C at line 390 where it bugged down at. Count D assert count less than or equal to total. So that means that when we're in the string seam, I will be verifying that these values are correct. Well, I do it two different ways. This is the assert, and then there's going to be another. Oh, I have to, yeah, I'll have to use a different one. So there's a different one that does an assert and then returns something. I can't put any thought processes into that right now. This is why I like C++ macros, because you can change, like for debugging, they're extremely powerful. I think people think that they're like for like people think that macros are for like releasing code with these like macro functions and stuff that do things. I think that's just a horrible way to go about doing it. It's like a really old way of going about doing it. We don't really do that with a const expert anymore. We just use const expert. But for debugging, you can do a lot of really powerful stuff with macros. Now, also for build system stuff. So my count is greater than total. We can go look at the autos, and the total is this is in hex, so that is 16. Or sorry, that is 32 total. And then my count is 34. Well, I might be looking at just random. I might be use after free right now. Like, right. This is why I would avoid C++. I don't know, dude. This API is abstracting away. This API is kind of like the Rust of C++. This is how we get rid of all the memory problems. Is we provide the ASCII data types that have 4,000 different contiguous data types, along with a whole giant sloth of like void numbers too, like where you can take a data type and stick a number in the data type, various types of numbers or character. It's actually pretty slick. I'm pretty happy with it. am I doing? I'm use after free, right? So when did I set the origin? So I look for that where I set the origin in here. And it looks like that's the only place, right? So here I clone. And so I have to clone, attempt to print again. And then, so here's the attempt to print the second time. So I printed, and then it was successful, right? So then I got the RAM factory heap. Why is this like this? This doesn't make sense. This is an error. RAM factory heap. Oh, right, because I replaced it with this function. All it does is just do this. So this is going to give us our RAM factory heap and then our stir new. Okay, so what am I doing with the autoject? So I got an autoject, right? And so this is not. Maybe this needs to be that. Well, it did something. I don't know if it did what we wanted it to do, but it does look like it's doing something. Count. It does appear as if I probably might have fixed it. All right, let's just let this guy run. In fact, maybe I should probably move on to the next scene because I might have just fixed it. It does look like it's working. But let's. Huh? Keeps growing, right? Or is it stuck? 53? No, it keeps growing, right? So it's actually working right now. This could take a while. I wonder how I go about getting it to go down to the bottom. None of the usual suspects would work. Oh no! Ouch. 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 This hurts, dude. All of that time just to print 255 different times? Jeez. What do I do? Uh-oh, this is not good. How do I print outside of this? I passed in the bounds. Where am I at? Now I wonder here, let's try to get the result. Let's start. Um, Begin. Stack around str was corrupted, huh? Hmm. Let's just reduce this down to say 16. this around there too. Down to 3. Get anything? All right, so we're getting it. 1. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. 256. Wow. Okay. So this should be easier to track down. Is it not? I hate having to debug stuff like this. All this stuff was working really good, and then I changed it to the string being an ASCII stack of characters. Which I really regret it not being, because it really should have been that way the whole time. But unfortunately, it was. Yeah, I didn't really do the best job there, I guess. Okay. So what? I don't think that should do anything, but I gotta get rid of it just to. What did that? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, yeah, that's why you need to test stuff like that. I don't understand. How did this DCL object? I'm really confused how that stopped the buffer overflow. What is this going? Oh yeah, this is gonna take a while. Hey, okay, here, let's change this, bump this down to 16 because I don't want to sit here through this. All right. Probably don't need to sit through this pain. Right. It's on the first one. Right. I don't know how commenting out the stuff above that stopped it. Maybe I didn't notice. Maybe it wasn't working before, and then I'm just being bozo. All right. So now let's verify that was I being bozo. Right. Unit test completed successfully. I do not see that. So it is in the first one. And it has to be here because this is where we're. I don't understand this at all. So how am I getting, unless the AJT is not set correctly? So let's say DCL printing to OX. I just love this API. I'm sorry. This is this is extremely productive for printing. Honestly, you could learn the API pretty quick because there's a certain smaller number of bread and butter functions that we just use all the time. Like the string F API, I think it's badass, dude. Sorry, it's the unit printer. That's confusing. So there's the string F, which is below the uniprinter, and then there's the uniprinter, right? How does that work? The uniprinter prints with the string F. I do like the historical goodiness of the string F too. Okie dokie. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit slow right now. So that didn't do anything when I. So let's try this. Let's just try to see whether or not I can. Oh, I can't comment that out. But there's some comments in it. I don't understand. Let's just try this. Comment data. Still doing it. Okay. So we know exactly where this problem lies. How am I not getting the correct memory address? Oh yeah, I was gonna put the hex address of the printing to here, and then let's do over here. So where is the buffer or the buffer? First print function should fail. No, it doesn't fail. The what? The third? I just don't like that comment. Testing 1, 2. Do I need this? Probably should do this. Okay. And why is this like this? DC out object stir. I don't know why exactly it's like that. Probably because we don't have the higher level API, so I'm probably, because this is supposed to be in one statement. I don't know why I can't really just. Maybe I need to put like a object F or something. I could do that. I could do object F or an autoject F too, to use the autoject. So what do we got to do? We got to get the buffer. Oh, the begin, right? Begin. Okay. So that's the pointer we're looking for. Object out. DC out object. Don't know exactly where to put this, so it'll just go right here. Okay. Hex F. All right. Why is this like this? Okay. So that should give us the information we need. So, yes, they are both the same. So we can see I printed to the same address as here. I should probably actually make them the same statements. I'm going to say printing to, and then they look the same. So I think that'll be superior because you can tell. Okay, so that eliminates that bug. So why am I unable to write to this? I have an idea. So let's try this. Let's try. I can get rid of this. And then we'll verify first that it does not bug. It's not writing around the stack. Okay, so there's no bug. All right, so now let us take str this dot count equals, and then we'll take 16, something like that. Anything. What is this? Oops. Did it? No bug. All right, so let's try this. Let's see this. T putter ch. Okay. So then I need to do this dot 1, and I'm gonna set it to okay. Let's just set it to a question mark. Now am I gonna write around the buffer? Okay. Now let's try to do outside the buffer. Why does it say total? String total. That's not right. That's crazy. Now, one thing that I could do to test this out would be to do 0. Wait, hold on. First off, that's not going to be right. So this size of t, a stir. Wait, I can't do that here, can I? T string. Oh, damn you. confusing exactly why. Again, those are still the same. Why is the total? Oh, because right, because I didn't have the size of there before. So now I printed that out, and then it does not appear as if we have an out of bounds character. So now let's attempt to do in a for loop. Where'd it go? All right. Now let's do for. Sorry. Is I equals 0. I is less than stir total. Yeah, let's just call this T putter cursor equals that bad boy. Now, actually here, let's just call this stop. And then we'll say that stop is equal to start. Start plus str dot total. All right. While start stop. And then all right, so this should overrun my buffer and then give us a. So it did. But then let's try to do it with. Are we overrunning the buffer here? Oh, wait, I only have 8 characters. Why is it showing up as 16? All right, so this is why it's not working. Wait, didn't I back it off to... I should probably do this experiment below here. I have no idea why it's showing up as total of 16 when it's only 8 in the buffer. So let us look at the how am I creating this? Okay, auto stack total init is set up here. You know, I'm gonna go back to the trailing underscore for this because I might actually want to make it makes perfect sense to do an enum here. That's total init. I think that would be preferred if you're trying to expose this value, keeping it meta up here with the enum. So the ASCII stack. Let's go look at the stack. ASCII. By here we go. We have definitely a bug here. Bytes equals. Hold on. Why is this? No, that's not a bug. It's a feature, bro. OBJ stack bytes. So what is this converting it to? Stack bytes. So OBJ is not an OBJ. AARY, an auto array. First off, it's important to name it what it is. What is this? So the auto array does what? The boofer. What does this do? Okay, why is this complex? So the reason why this is complex is because we have an ASCII array which stores the number of elements as the first ISI, which is the largest signed integer. Is y is half the size of that. So I'm apparently converting the array total using this auto array. Really what I need is I need the auto object and an auto array. And then I might have to rename this object to like an A object. So an ASCII I might have to do something. So what is an auto object? An auto object does not exist typically out in the heap. It's a stack data structure. Stores the. Traditionally, we use it just on the stack, but we will expose these in the future using some more advanced ASCII hybrid embedded C++ techniques. So what is hybrid embedded C++? It's basically C++ with optional dynamic memory that you could turn on and off, use with no cost abstractions. And then it's theoretically memory safe because you're working with the ASCII data types, which are all contiguous. So what do I do with it? Yeah, I don't know what to say. Do I need to pass the I think maybe I might need a. How many different things call the auto array? How many different debugging nightmares are we going to have? Basically, one per. What? What is this? What is this even for? I know what I'm going to have to do. I have to split it in between. Maybe I need to add the class. So what do we have with our auto array? We have first off, I'm a little bit unhappy how bozo this is to the data spec. All right, so let's look at this. What do we have? We have an ASCII stack. All right. And so how do I know with my auto array, how do I know how big the header is so I can get to the begin? Okay, because what does the auto array do? The auto array, I'm going to give it an index of how much data it has, and then I'm going to create an array, but I have to have a header size. So the auto strings go on the stack conceptually. They will go in the heap later on, like with the memory management. So what do I need to do? Add like a size of the class? So with an auto stack, well, how is that different than an auto object? We still have the auto array. And then I pass in my buffer. So this thing, I feel like it's not supposed to be like this because there's an actual array class too. And that one's also supposed to have an auto array in it. And then this one is, let's say I make a stack of characters, right? So then I'm going to need to make my auto array I have to pass in maybe at least a type name. Um, all right. So then we'll say by default, this is going to be a array. This might work, might not. So what would I do? Where's the begin? So the begin would be footer. Okay. So where's the problem here? We have an auto array. Now we're going to pass in STK. That's not horrible. I could do that because we're like we're kind of concealing this anyways. So I'm not sure if I need like an auto object thing, or if I need to like have something that's like, because what's an autoject? The automatic object, right? That's the one that goes on the stack and automatically goes to the heap, and then the all the rest of the data storage is with the other ASCII contiguous map types. So what am I passing in? So when I get my DRAM wipe start, this should always be begin. Bytes equals total minus. What the hell is this shit? Bytes. And then I'm not even using it. This is just whack. What the hell is this, dude? So this is just a debug thing, so I don't care how fast it goes. I'm just gonna go about it the slow way. Let's just get rid of this thing. Because I hate wasting vertical space and horizontal space. So bytes. Begin bytes minus size of stack. I'm not sure exactly why I wouldn't want to do get the object. Why? It makes it more confusing when you have a differentiation between the ASCII objects, which store the size in bytes, that includes the size of the header, and an ASCII array, which stores the size of the array in element counts in the first element of it. T-stack insert. So where am I setting it? So T-stack bytes total. So this is probably the line of code that is the erroneous line. So the auto array, and is this supposed to be, maybe this isn't SCK. Maybe this isn't the stack parameter. So what is the stack parameter? So my auto array is of characters. So when would I want to make it so that it's not like that? I might want to, I think this is correct. What does this translate into? T Izzy. Auto array stack parameters. Wait, how big is the buffer? Buffer. So this one, let's examine how am I creating this buffer. So over here we have a different way of creating this buffer. So it looks as if I'm going to have to create, unfortunately, I'm going to have to create another auto array class because this thing doesn't have the same. So I can't create an array correctly with this because of the way that I'm passing in the buffer. So the buffer is optional. So I could create an auto array that does not have any memory on the stack just by passing in the buffer for the that I create above this. Size set. So what does this do? Sets the size. RAM factory. So why do I have it set up like this in the first place? We got. Did I even? Oh, I didn't even have the timer. Oops. Time's almost up. I'm so confused as to how I got away without having. This one looks fine. So why do I want it to be like that? You could look at the unit test. Not that one. What is that? This is why I want it to be like this. can't use that there. Can I? Yeah, I can. Not sure how I messed up. Uh-oh, what did I do? Boy, messing up every way you can, huh? All right. So this one, I really just don't want to have to do this. So what do we got to do? Copy and paste this thing? It's not a whole lot of stuff in here. Array, right? Where do I call this at? In the stack. And this is my resize function. I do not call. I don't remember calling that. Actually, yeah. So looks like I'm not even calling that function. Then we have clone. Where do we have clone at? Why do I have a different clone function here? So what I would like to do is I would like to basically make another one of these classes, this auto array. Maybe I could rename this one to this is like the base class. Kind of. It's composed contiguous, so it's not. So this is like maybe, I mean, I could just call it auto array. I can call it an auto object. And then the auto object is the stores the auto object in the RAM factor or the origin of the RAM factor. You know, it'll work. So what's going to be the difference between the... Well, I need to create an array on the stack, and so this is where I erred. This, I guess I wasn't creating an array on the stack back then. This is a really old class, so I'm not at all surprised that there's some bozo shit going on with it. I have two of them, right? All right, so now let's call this the auto array. So let's say the stack can be this. Man, there's a lot of work on this. I was not expecting to do it all. I was like really hoping to move on to the RPC engine because I'm almost back up to working on the RPC engine, and then woo, it's been a doozy. So what is it? I'm sorry, I had to stick it in there. You know you like to stick it in the boofer where it's hot. Baby. So, now that we have an auto array, now we need to go over to here, the stack. So what's the difference in between so a stack growing on the heap, that's perfectly understandable, right? But what about an array growing on the heap? I mean, you don't really like push out to an array. You make an array and then you got an array, right? But then what if you want to grow the array? I mean, you do this stuff in linear algebra quite often. Oh, I got to do math for that self-driving car class. I got up to the point where I had to do the module quiz and needed math, so I went to sleep. I need to get off of this live stream and then go jump over there and do the some linear algebra for that. What are you doing? Lanelets is what it's called. It's for like self-driving cars. Like whenever you're merging, the car's like trying to stay in its lane. There's a calculus algorithm, or not a calculus, a linear algebra algorithm. It's just a basic orthogonality on an arc, and then you can use that to create a gradient, which can make the car stay in a perfect line. And they do it with the what are the OpenStreetMaps? So yeah, we got those 1 minus lambdas going on over there. You know, linear algebra. Oh shit. When do you do characteristic polynomial over here? Linear regression, huh? Linear regression's cool. You know, I'm trying to think about how you do a characteristic polynomial. I'm drawing a blank. All I remember is something minus lambda. I don't remember why it's 1 minus lambda. Is that because it's an identity matrix or something? Minus your lambda thing, and then for the lambda you can insert some calculus algorithms, and then you got to do something or other. You got to do some matrix math, right? And then you get a characteristic polynomial. Oh, this hurts my head just thinking about it. I need to. So an insert function, does that make sense on an array? I'm trying to insert to an array. I mean, it makes sense for a stack, right? But what would you do, like, if I tried to insert into an array? So what does this thing do? Tries to do a stack insert. If it can't do that, wait, what if the index is greater than the total? F what? Index greater than source dot total return. Is that a stack overflow, or is it something else? What is it? An index overflow? Invalid index? Or what about? Because I don't want to continue to. I have to do my bounds checking apparently twice, unless I call t stack insert like no check. Maybe I could call one insert. Wait, hold on. Wait, stack insert. T array insert no check. T array insert no check. Okay. So what? Back to this whole thing. So we got the auto object, and now an autoject because I need to make an array on the stack. And then I probably actually need to take the stack, the auto stack, instead, and then grab this up here. Go back to the array. Not that big of a class. Object. So a stack. So we got to do a stack. All right. Verify it did not do anything bozo. Okay. All right. So an auto object. What? I hate that. is gonna start blowing stuff up, but it's gotta be done. Whee! I broke it. ASCII. T stack. T right. Flip stack. Do array. Destination SCK needs to be ARY. And then there's no count new. This one is total. Resize. And you just shrink it. Wait, F total new. So we're going to double the size of the array. Okay. Okay. So else if total new, we'll say less than or equal to total. Maybe we'll do a D assert total greater than or equal to 0. Then we'll just do a return. We'll set the total equals total and then return. All right. And then total less than 0. Else F. So this one goes away. No, don't I do? Why is it? Never mind. Then we go look at the that we're gonna grow the thing. Object RAM attempt to resize clone. Maybe I should do this in a dual while loop, right? Attempt to resize. So then we got to go over here to the clone function, growth, this, total new. That goes away. To resize. So why would I... Hold on. Why do I need to attempt to resize? I mean, I would probably want to grow and wipe the empty memory. Clone, total new. And that seems okay, but I'm not really... Why would I need to loop? It seems like this is for like an auto grow code where you got like a doubling thing going on, but I'm not really doing that. Let's get rid of that. Say bye-bye to that. Deassert false. It's always going to trip right there. This is nice because it's like just like setting a breakpoint programmatically. I just love the way this API works. Compared to the other APIs, this one's slick. It's like we didn't really continue using the bullshit that people have been using. Like we have slick ways about going about things. I think that's what people don't understand about C++ is there are slick ways about going about things with C++. There's also really, really horrible ways of doing things in C++. There's also really horrible ways about doing things in JavaScript too. And in Rust. Right? You know, the thing that's like you could say about C++ is if you're doing all this memory management yourself, it could be extremely expensive and time consuming. The whole deal with there being a memory bug, I don't buy into that shit. First off, you need to learn how to access memory in a safe fashion, right? You need to identify your producers, identify your consumers. You need to have a way about going about shared data that's not going to deal with some dangling pointer thing. I use a game symbol table and a round robin asynchronous engine. And so I don't have to deal with your race conditions with this style or locks for that matter. We'll see how I scale. I think I'll scale up crazy good. But if I can't get past this, man, I'm screwed, dude. I gotta throw in the towel. Go get a job working for like some automotive company or something. Put me in like some cubicle for the rest of my life. Send me out to pasture. Oh no. All right, so what is up with this garbage? So we got an auto jack. And then now we have an auto array, which is using our auto object. So the auto object has the auto jacked. Wait, where? I'm sorry. Where am I looking at? The ARY. Do I need to go up to the top of the... Oh, painful. I have to edit all this stuff. Does it blow up? T-array bytes. But I don't have T-array bytes, huh? Should be one of the first things that comes up. T-array copy. I'm not really sure exactly why that's the first thing that's popping up. Template. ARY arguments. We're doing Izzy T array bytes constant ARY object. What is this garbage? Too many arguments for type array. Oh. T equals what? An array of what? What's the thing that I would do and automatically do an array of what? Characters? Why would I want an array of characters? Because it's bytes. So what's the difference between an array and an auto object? An object is going to store the size in bytes. An array is going to store the size in... Oh, shoot. Man, everything's bozo on this one. Might be spending another couple of days just on this auto array. Or I could, might just like be really quick. I'm going to return size of ARY plus obj. Look, we got to do is total here. Inline that mofo. And we're going to say total times size of t. Okay. So what's the next gig? Now we take out the total. And then we're going to return T array bytes ARY parameters. ARY, no, it's OBJ. And then OBJ dot total. Right? And then there's that. There's that. And we're done. Okay? Array T object copy. I'm going to move these down because these just don't belong here. It's not how I lay out anything in the API. And we'll look for the first instance of an error from something that cannot see these functions and then move it down because these are higher level functions. So I'm going to throw these at the end. T array compare, read only function down there. And then we'll throw the T array copy. I like to stick the read only stuff, or the read only stuff I like to stick at the beginning. Anything that's like meta. So we pass this parameter in, even though we do not use type T in this T array, because the compiler is just going to get rid of it as an unused parameter. And it makes our life a lot easier when we can just utilize this syntax and then this. We can just do that on everything. And then I don't have to think about it. And I like that because that makes my life a lot easier. I'm running out of time though. It's an hour 26. And it's already 9:35, dude. I'm like keep getting going late. T array size. What is the size max though? What is this? I think I deleted these. T array count is valid. I don't think that I don't have that. T array begin. Huh? All right. So now I need to go, and then this is an ARY. Argument. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, they're gone up here, huh? Equals what? What's the default? What is it? Isn't? Or is it is one? Is O? Is n is an n-bit signed integer. Integer signed n-bit. It's backwards because it's reverse Polish. Which help us with our RPC scanner so it works faster. And it provides us with these easy to pronounce acronyms. Okay. Let's go back to the 103. Woo! I like to do the first ones first. Right. Array. All right. Wow, it got rid of most of them, huh? This is why I do that. You can see there's a problem. I had different template parameter defaults. That kind of stuff just ruins your API. You know, it's way better when you do it this way. All right. What line? What does it say? 432. Auto object. And then this is a SCK is an ARY now. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. What did I just do? Did I just do something stupid? No. No, I'm fine. Nothing stupid going on, right? This was the one that I'm editing, and then these things shouldn't have 432 auto object. Here, let's do right. I know what to do. All right. All right. Okay, I got it. It's not the auto object. It's a T object. Got it. All right. AOBJ. So now we can just call this the AJT and then Auto object isn't. Why can't I? Why? That's stupid. A array. What's going on? Whatever happened to my? I thought I had. I thought I just created another auto object thing. What happened to it? Wait, no, I copied and pasted the class. This sucks. What happened? I gotta, dude, what happened to the thing? Kind of like expandable. I wish I could right click on these and expand all. Okay. Something happened with the. All right. So what is this one? This thing has an autoject in it. But the autoject class just deleted itself? Wait. What am I looking at? Auto array. What happened? This one's now the auto stack. Did I delete them both when I changed it to the auto stack? Oh, I hate that when it happens, dude. I wish you could lock that. Am I out of. Shit, I deleted it. What happened, dude? What happened? Oh, that's the wrong file. What happened? Oh, here it is. Boy, that sucked. That's the auto object, and that's the one that I want, right? Oh, shit, man, that sucked. Okay, now I have to, like, go back. auto object, and then just move up here. It looks like what happened was looks like I accidentally like overwrote it with the All right, now we're back in business. Did I mess anything up in here? Here, invalid index. Still have this at least. Well, it was really disconcerting what just happened. At least the stack's not bugging. And is this one gonna have? Does the stack have the? What? Missing type specifier. Missing return type. T auto object. What is this? Class T array. Maybe I just can't have a default parameter. So what is this? I can just take these off. Like, well, you know, there is just can't be any of these. Wait, let's look at how I create it. How do I create it? All right, T auto object. T O. Yeah. Just AJT. Wouldn't I get AJT then AJT? AOBJ. Auto objects. I really don't like how these aren't. Then I might just switch them. While we're switching everything else, might as well just make it the way it was supposed to be. I don't like having this exception with the auto arrays. This isn't too bad. T auto array. TA array. The TA array. I just don't like how there's a differentiation between. Hold on. Do I need a differentiation between that? Let's think about this. So, all the functions that are templated start with a T. Do I need a different rule for a class that's templated, though? I don't think I do, because the reason why I start all the functions that are templated with a T is to facilitate operator overloader sets. And it fixes a lot of problems that you have with operator overload sets, because now you could differentiate between the function and the templated function. And I found that all my templated problems went away whenever I switched to that. So what's the problem? So the boofer, you stick things in the boofer. So the boofer a boofer is just it's a block of memory on the stack that could be nil. So it might not take up any memory at all. And that's the whole point of this thing. And then we want to have this thing that I just set up. Because where's the auto array? This does not violate. I don't have to put a T in front because I'm just going to make the rule be if the function is a templated function, it starts with a T. And then I just don't have that rule for objects. Because it doesn't really help with my operator overload set thing. That's just only really applies to functions. So let's just keep that rule where it stands. I don't mind it being like this. I mean, in Qt, you put a Q in front of everything. In my API, you only do that if the function starts with is a template. You put a T. I like that rule. I think it's nice and easy. The auto object. Let's just do the compile errors right now. This is what? Missing return type. T auto object. T array. Well, I can't find that function. Undeclared identifier. Oh, please tell me I didn't delete anything else. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Is it there in the T stack? No. Fuck. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to do something. Oh man. What is that? Oh man. That's not good, dude. That's not good. T array insert is. Oh shit! Now I'm blasting away at the wrong fucking file, dude. I hate that, dude. Is that it? That's the end of the buffer, huh? Uh-oh. What am I gonna do? Oh shit. Boy, this really just disrupts a lot of things, man. What am I gonna do? What about T array insert? So first off, let's look at this clue. Why does it have an auto object? Okay, I don't really want this. T array insert. Ouch. Maybe I can find it in the. I see some T array insert no checks. Where are we? What? I'm a little bit confused. Like, where did these T array insert functions come from? Where? Because that doesn't really look like. Wait, what did I do? Did I just not have that? Am I just being stupid? What is it? T stack insert? Oh, okay. All right. So T stack insert is what I think I renamed it. That would have been renamed a T stack insert or T array insert. And then I'm looking for a function up here. Array item index. Okay. So what? Copy the T stack insert. What does insert down mean? Insert down. Do I just need to do the T array insert no check? T array insert into index. I don't have a push, so that would have to go away. So insert into index, and then what does that mean for an array? I mean, it's easy for a stack. I insert into a stack, right? I have a count on the stack, right? Push up, right? But then the array, what does that mean when I'm inserting into an array? I'm shifting the other elements over until what? I mean, one's going to disappear, right? Is this what you do though? Insert? Do I even do this operation on an array? Am I being like Bozo the clown over here? Like I'm trying to like have clown circus over here trying to insert into an array when that's not really like the kind of thing you do with an array. You know, I might access elements of the array. Do I insert? I mean, it kind of breaks my brain to think about it. I mean, I know I can shift up. I could just treat it like it's the. Well, I think I'm just going to get offline here because I'm thoroughly confused. I really wanted to get this stuff wrapped up and move on to the next thing. Maybe I could just nerd out for just a moment longer. T array. I mean, one option is to just delete this. I mean, array items. Here are the items I'm going to copy, right? Wouldn't I just do an array copy instead? Okay. And then where's my RAM factor? Would I just like take the A object, the default RAM factory? Because I don't have to pass the RAM factory into all of these, right? So that I'm able to get it through the T auto object or T object. And then T auto object. And what is this? This one's the stack. And then this is going to allow us to do the statically allocated buffer on this. No, not statically allocated. Allocated on the program stack with this without any sort of. It's a no cost abstraction in C++. What do we got here? Another T array insert. Does this make any sense to insert into an array? I mean, it makes more sense to just grow the array. If you ask me, with my knowledge, my advanced knowledge of mathematics, I'm gonna have to say that if we resize the array, we would generally pad it with zeros, like almost all the time that I've seen. What else are you gonna pad it with, right? So let's just go ahead and just get rid of these insert functions. I think I got it from the T stack, and I can put it back. So here's again another account of items. I don't think that this operation necessarily makes sense on a stack. Let's try to get rid of it. And then woo. SCK. I hate it when this happens. T stack. supposed to work, but it doesn't sometimes. Form. T-array insert. What would I wouldn't I just like want to just like zero it out because it's an array, right? So what do I do? What can I do? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to make it so that I can create these auto arrays using memory on the stack with some super slick syntax that nobody else is thinking about because they got some dogmatic approach and I'm a renegade. All right, so how do I do that? Well, if I gave you a const items, what would I go about doing for that? Let's say I created an auto array. Do I even have the ability to test that? Oh, looks like I'm going to have to add another array unit test, unfortunately. It does appear as if I went straight to the stack and then I used this weird thing. All right. So I'll take the two, and then I'm going to go over to the two. I'm going to go up into the scene. I'm going to take the stack scene. I'm going to copy that to be the array. Oops. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to do some pain in the butt stuff. All of this stuff. Have to rebuild, rename all these. Just a little bit of pain in the butt. 8. Wait, hold on. Let's do it from the reverse. 22, 21, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. Ooh, 144. Damn, bro. Shit. Getting high up in there. 12. List 11. 110. Damn. All right, so now I gotta go add these big. Take all these things and add them back to the Visual Studio project. And then I'm gonna have to go through and then test that HXX. We're gonna go here. And we have to add an extra one because with the array, we're going to have to pad it with the zeros. So I'm going to have to test that even if it's a really short test. All right. Once I'm in to this, now I'm going to go over. Array. So we gotta. Oh yeah, we gotta update the seams. There's a lot of steps up to inserting a test. It's easy to add it at the end. Inserting is always going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I'd like to have a utility that does this. Yeah, I think people don't. People hate CMake. I don't know why. Why people hate CMake? It's got weird syntax. Supposed to just specify your uh prereqs, your build chain, your build sequence, and then throw some scripts in, with some JSON, something. And CMake, is probably really nice if you actually learn how to use it, but everybody hates it because you got to learn how to use it, and it just kind of looks weird. I did hear my my compiler optimization of the single translation unit has been floating around the C++ expert community this year. Saw CPPCon talk about compiler profiling. And that was one of the questions going around. So I'm pretty happy about that. I've been fighting for that for a while, getting people to give up on the old way because it just doesn't work. That's good. Steak. All right. Wait, auto object. What is it? 20 for the auto object. What is it? Script2, and then there's release. Now we got to copy this over to the seams over here. All right. And then now we go over here to our new array. Oh, we don't have it. All right. Here's the array. Array. HPP array. All right. So there's no count. There's a bytes. And size words. Array total. And then I'm not going to do anything with the test because I don't push, I don't pop. I'm not sure exactly what to do with it other than just print it out, right? Array object. And then here's the start of the test array copy. Oh, wait. So I could move the testing RAM compare. Testing an array copy. So I can remove this from the stack test. Okay. That'll actually benefit me. Let's go over to the stack test. It's at 8, seam 8. And then I can just delete all of this stuff down here about that. Yay! I like that a lot better, actually. I need that. Why am I testing this like this? An example of why this would be illegal. Type D. How is that illegal? Type D is D. That would be illegal. So test stack, and then it's T, and then AZ. All right, let's see what happens here. See if we get this. What does it say? Unable to start debugging. Oh, damn. I broke it that much. I can't even start debugging, dude. Damn. Wow. What happened? Catastrophic failure. Damn. Like me and your mom's relationship. Oh, damn. Bugging on everything. Oh, shit. I think I glitched it all out with the undoing. I can't even, like, exit now. Uh-oh. What am I going to do? What do I just, like, copy it into, like, yeah, I think I broke it when I did all that undoing. So which ones are glitched? The array, the stack one. Okay, that one's not working. Maybe I can close others. So it's just the stack then. All right. So which one is this one? This one's the stack. So it's the array that's the bad guy. Okay. Could not be completed. Oh no. Can't even like exit. I'm gonna have to do hard crash, bro. Damn. Damn. Can't even hard crash it. It's that broken. Shit. I have to crash the tree. Damn, I've never had to crash the whole process tree before. That's a new one, dude. Oh, look, recover selected files. Here's the array. All right. Damn. It's like Wild West over there, bro. 66 errors. Almost as many errors as I made with your mom. Damn, bro. Harsh. Ah! Guess I can't do anything right. Errorless. Sort by line. Go up here, TA array. TA array. Wait. Huh? What happened? I might have to reboot. Looks like we're got some bozo shit going on. T array insert. So I don't do that anymore. So items count. If you ask me in a situation like this, you would copy it out the number of items and the number count, the items count, and then you would zero everything else out because it's an array. And that's, how you go about dealing with matrices in mathematics. You just put it, if there's nothing there, you don't know what to put there, you have to put a zero. I could just delete them. But it is useful. You would want with something like this to do item start. All right. What do I do, dude? This is rough. I wasn't expecting to have to do any of this work when I started the day. Not really too happy with the fact that I got to do this work because I really, 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 really wanted to close out this issue ticket really bad. And this is going to add another day from what I can see because, it doesn't take too long to write the unit test. But, what are the functions that the array needs? I'm pretty sure that all you need to do is let's look at this. So I've got this bad boy, and then I'm inserting. So I got basically a vector, and then I'm going to insert an amount of items in there that may be the total amount that the array can take. Might be less than that. I might want to pad it with zeros, and then this items offset would do that. So let's take that. Items count. Do I need? Yeah, you have to have an items count. So this, I think I just need to write an array insert function that it just is slow. Let's do down here. insert into destination. No. All right. I'm just going to do it the slow way. Do some checking. SRC stop equals what? We'll do a stop count equals SRC total plus SRC offset. Stop count greater than or equal to total return. Okay. Now let us do T star equals T array. Wait, hold on. Again. Destination stop. Wait. Array insert. Maybe I don't want to do it this way. Maybe I want array begin. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. Insert. This is const. Destination star. Destination star is equal to what? star equals src plus src offset. src snap. Wait, do I need to do that? Do I have the that step? src snap. Wait, no. Let's test. Oh, or source total. I'll optimize this later. I just wanna. I just want it to be done. I just can't think too much about this. So what is it? While dest less than dest now. Okay. Oh, source total. Wait a minute. No, don't I want to do this? I don't want to do that. I want to do source total. Right. Oh wait, destination needs to be. Where's destination start? Where's destination? Okay. Where's destination start? this is a prime example of why this format is just the most useful thing. I really honestly was on autopilot. I didn't really think about that at all. Because the way that we set it up with the begin, start, stop, end. I really should probably pay attention for a second. What did I just write? So get the total, we'll get the offset, desktop. Desktop. Desktop is what? No, desk. That's why you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Source stop count, which is the total plus the source offset. Okay. And then desk plus the total. So we're going to scan up to the start, putting zeros, like my GPA. Then we're going to go up to the start, then we're going to copy over the source. Then we're going to go up to the end, copy. That should work. All right, so what about all these ones that's bugging me about? T array. All right. Right here. What the hell is this? Items start. Items count. Items start. Is he total? What's up with this? Copies the items of the mover with some additional. Why do I have a total here? Isn't the whole point of this thing to use this total in it? And then the boofer. RAM wipe. Again, bytes minus size of RAM. And can I do anything with this? Do I need to do the alright. We need to do the type name class equals your mom class. Wait, I don't have that. I don't have a default on the boofer, so why would I have one there? Do I need to do that? What do I do with this? So what's the difference between this? This one's got the boofer. I like this. The reason why I like this is because the boofer is a bunch of words. So there's 2 words on this auto jack. We got a boofer. Or should I say a boff? You know, you like boffing it with the boofer. See, there's wisdom to my naming convention. uh, all right. Optional boofer on the program stack. Okay. What about AutoJect.http? What is that? What does that get? So it gets AutoJect binary, but it doesn't get the array, huh? Growing defines can grow. So let's look at AutoJect.http. What we got? Auto array. Get it? It's all that's getting the AutoJect, and then everything else is getting that. Well, it would make more sense. This thing has to include the AutoJect. Dot. T auto. What is this? T size bytes. I could try to stick this up in here. Hmm? Try. Is there any errors? What about align AutoJect over? Is this okay? Binary. Doesn't seem to have a whole bunch of problems. Size of array. Isn't this class? Wait, no. Size of t. Wait, size of t plus size of class. We would not be able to, at this point in time, tell you what the type is. What is this? Line up. What is this? Size. Line up. Huh? So we're aligning up. The boofer size gets lined up. Wait, where's this boofer size coming from? This? Wait, size. Oops. What does size mean? AutoJect. Uh-oh. stupid. So an autoject could be an auto array, an auto object, or okay, I should probably turn off the stream. I gotta go do the UX design and do some stuff on my classes. I'm paying money for a Coursera class, and I need to switch gears. I need to do UX design really bad. Doing the GitHub repo tier ranker for Live Coding Alliance. So we could. Why do I want to rank GitHub repos again? So that I could organize my own repos, so that I could put my time in the ones that are the A tier or the S tier, right? So that should be an interesting feature. I think it'll help people out. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I wasn't more productive. This is just complicated. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. Have a good day.